Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Mistonia, continuing where we left off, just getting used to living in the mansion. Had a nice, we had our bird. It's just a nail, it's just a shadow. It's not a bug, stop it! Goddamn bird. It's not a bug. Stop acting like, don't give the bugs body. It's not a bug. I'm gonna throw you downstairs. He's just started already. Yeah, we were investigating the house. We did the shard thing. We fell into Edward's arms, but it was actually 10 out of 10 moment because she was like, oh, God. Okay, she didn't say that exactly, but that was the vibe we got, and I'm here for that. So, anyway. The Five Houses conference is quickly approaching. Stay focused, everyone, and get to work. I feel like Nicholas's voice is different every time, but like, whatever. The servants all nodded solemnly at Nicholas's command. I have to support Evelyn and help cook. I hope I get the chance to explore the mansion more. I left the room with the other servants, who all dispersed to their respective posts. I kept an eye on things. First, I followed Evelyn's orders and cleaned the drawing room. I swept away the dust and polished the furniture, checking for any imperfections. Do we have fresh curtains, Evelyn? Fresh curtains? What kind of rich people shit is that? We gotta take the we need new towels in the bathroom. Yeah, normal. We have new like sheets, but we got new curtains? Do you rotate your curtains? Like, do you take down your fucking curtains and like put up new ones? Is this like part of like overconsumption core where people are like, I gotta restock my bathroom for fall, and then they're like, okay, here's my like fall toilet paper, and you're like, wait, what? Excuse me? The fuck are you doing? You're like, I mean, it's one thing to have like a shower curtain for like, you know, you're like, oh, well, whatever, I got a cute Halloween one or something. Sure, fine, whatever. But you got curtains in your house? First of all, you got curtains? I never bothered hanging up my curtains. I have blind, like you have the, like whatever, the vertical blinds or whatever. So like, I don't have curtains. I have curtains in my bedroom to help extra block out light, but like, I never put up the curtains in my other rooms or whatever, because it's like, I got the vertical blinds, whatever. And like, no, my horizontal blinds, not vertical blinds, horizontal blinds, whatever. Look, I don't know my directions right now. But hey, don't buy my headset just because you're mad at hurting yourself. You did that to yourself. My headset didn't do it. Don't you be feisty. Don't you be feisty, you jerk. You're a jerk. I get you. Don't you dare. Don't you attack my headset. This big fat, no, you're a jerk. But anyway. But you take your curtains down and like, I mean, you take your curtains and you wash them, but you take them down and then you put up different ones? And also, do you take your curtains down and wash them? Huh. You know, like, do we have spare curtains? Yes, go to the curtain pantry. That's some rich people shit. Okay. We do, yes, but I just changed them the other day. These are fraying a bit. It's not bad, but guests might notice, so I thought I'd mend them or change them out. Oh, you're right. I'm surprised you were able to even see a flaw that small. I simply happened to notice it when I touched the curtains. By the way, you're good at sewing, aren't you? More or less. Can I leave this to you, then? These curtains are her ladyship's favorite, so mending them would be better than changing them entirely. I'll get it done quickly, then. Would you mind sparing me at least 5 minutes? Sure, why not? Wait, did you say 5 minutes? You can fix it in only 5 minutes. You're like, there's a sewing machine in the back. I don't have to do it by hand. I saw that fucking sewing machine. Evelyn raised her voice. Strange. Working quickly was always best, so why did she sound so shocked? Because not many people could fucking sew in 5 minutes. Again, with a sewing machine, maybe. Yes, I can. Is there something wrong with that? Not really. Oh, whatever. Just hurry up and fix it. This time she sounded irritated, though I didn't understand that either. I didn't give it much thought. Dwelling on something I didn't understand was useless after all. But then... Charlotte, should I leave the flower here? Yes, thank you. Huh? Wait, how did you know I needed flour? Foodstuffs for the formal banquet just arrived, and I saw a lot of flour. Besides, you baked a good deal of bread this morning. Given all that, I concluded you'd ordered flour for both the banquet and everyday use. It's nearly time to bake scones for afternoon tea and bread for tomorrow morning. Therefore, I thought it best that I bring you the flour. We using brains. We got brains. What? You're not wrong. Oh, I suspected something was wrong with the way I approach things. This was confirmed during my next task. That's Evelyn and Charlotte. And that newbie is something else. I was passing by the two women when I heard them talking about me. I stopped at the corner of the corridor. They're mad because, I anticipate things and I'm good at my job. They didn't seem to notice me and continued their quiet chat. I know. I feel like she can read my every move. It's a little scary. Exactly. She's undeniably thoughtful and does her work super fast, but she doesn't show any expression at all. It's so scary. Her poker face is way better than Mr. Nicholas's. This is no good at all. I never intended to get close to them, but discovering what was going on here would be difficult if everyone kept their distance. Do I need to connect with them better in order to achieve my goal? You could also start warming up, and when they say, "Oh, you used to have a poker face," but it takes me a while to get to know people or open up around people. Look at the fucking ceiling. I mean, I know we've been down this hallway before, but you've got the side with the chandeliers, but look at that fancy ass fucking woodwork on the other side. What the shitballs? That's amazing. Man, I want some rich ass motherfucking wood carving ceiling. Damn! Man, I'd be great at being rich. I'd have fucking cool ceilings like that. Anyway, I'd have someone to clean them, because I sure wouldn't. I want to ask John what I should do, but he'll probably worry about me again. I tried to figure out what to do myself, but sadly, I had no idea how to grow closer to girls my own age. Today was my long-awaited day off. Despite this, I didn't rush into the city excitedly. Instead, I visited a particular store on important business. Is this where I meet gonorrhea? I spotted the person I wanted to talk to at the back of the cluttered store. Hello, Goneril. Yeah, look at her, though! Fabulous! Fabulous! She has got a pipe and everything! I love her cute, sassy little short hair, her little hat with the that is such, I swear to God, she's giving me Flapper vibes. Despite the fact that it's not the time period for it, it's she's just, getting ready. Look at that even. Okay, I'm sorry, but, I love her little, bolero thing going on with the straps on the sleeves and the frilly little, shoulders. But she is also wearing a mesh fucking, mock neck going on there. That does not have sleeves. You can see her skin from, the edge of her bolero thing, and then you can see, a little bit of skin and then a little bit, what that mesh area is. So she is, wearing a mesh underlayer. It could be going over top. I'm assuming it's going under. With, the little mesh turtleneck thing going on. Girl is fabulous. And her hat is giving me, the little, rounded kind of hats that they had in, the 20s. You know what I mean? My brain is not picking up on the type of... I'm not good with every type of hat, but I love it. It's giving me the vibe. And then she's got, the little, 20s haircut going on. She's just a little ahead of the curve. She's ahead of her time. You know what I mean? And then the pipe? Damn. I love gonorrhea. Just what the fuck is with her name? Goneril. I mean, oh God, I can't, every time her name comes up, I'm it's just too close. Anyway. We got a voice for her. I don't even know. Because we don't want to give her Evelyn's voice. Well, oh no. Hey, a long time no see. You've been doing well, I take it. Oh, we gave her the fancy lady voice. Okay. Sort of. This was Goneril, an ally of mine and John's. She was a highly skilled informant in the area. She is fabulous, so I do love her. The information she bought and sold was so accurate that no one knew where in the world she'd even gotten it. Many mysteries surrounded Goneril, including her real name. Yeah, why she chose this one. Things are going well so far, I think. I hesitated, recalling how wary Evelyn and Charlotte were of me. This earned me an amused look. I think it's funny that we're here and, we don't have our glasses on.
Too much of a bother to talk about it, eh? I can hear you out if you have any worries. I know you won't open up to anyone besides John Boy, but I wanted to say it anyway.
And then she winks at us. Listen. Don't flirt with me like this. As soon as his name was mentioned, the second person I had wanted to meet up with entered the store. John, future other boyfriend. Oh my god, look at him. He looks like... Why are you dressed like a Boy Scout? Why do you look like a Boy Scout's pin board? The bright green... Like, you were literally like... Boy Scout. The hat, everything. I love it. God, I'm pretty sure I've seen people make fun of their ridiculous outfits, but first of all, we played Amnesia. Let's be real. We've set our expectations as like, the buckles and the straps and the two different like height boot. You got an ankle boot and a knee boot. What the fuck is going on? And like all that shittery, you know, nothing can surprise me at this point. There's really not much you can go past that, you know? Okay. But I like ridiculous. I don't want, like, here's my boyfriend, he's wearing a t-shirt and cargo pants. Get the fuck out of here. I want flair, and this motherfucker is dressed, again, like a goddamn flare board. That green burns my eyes. It's so bright. He puts a pool table to shame, okay? I don't think there's grass in a spring meadow that isn't a little ashamed when they see him coming in that jacket and is like, oh, yeah, it makes us look, okay, whatever. I can't even be that bright. Like, seriously, like, spring is appalled. They're like, oh! Just ashamed of itself that it can't be as bright as this man. That green hurts. It is like, I love it. I love it, and all the pins and everything all over him. He really does. He looks like you got green felt, you made a board for it, and you put up all your Boy Scout badges on it. He's a Boy Scout badge board. Like, and he said, "Milady, please tip your hat at us, sir." Oh my god, I love him. Oh, he's getting the Irish accent, because that's all we have. And, you know, with the flaming green coat, sure. But his color is obviously going to be green. Because of his little rose thing.
Milady, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, health-wise. I haven't seen any results from our infiltration plan yet, but I'll keep trying.
Perfect timing, then. I've learned additional information about the 5 houses. Want to hear it?
Really? Of course I want to hear it. But how much will it cost?
That's all right, milady. I'm taking care of everything.
Oh, and then look at you turning to the side and giving us a sassy side phase. Okay. John took out a banknote from his pocket and gave it to Goneril, who chuckled and gave her thanks before offering us chairs. Was that the money for the information? Thank you, John, as always.
Don't worry about it. She charges us less for info than other people for some reason.
John and I mentally prepared ourselves for the new information, but it seemed like she wanted to confirm something first. And now he's hat off. I love it when they have, like, messy, unkempt hair. It's just fun.
Remember how I told you that the next head and acting heads of each house will be attending the conference, along with the current head?
I do. It was brought up at the mansion, too. The people you talked about before are definitely the attendees.
All right, I'll dive into the details, give you pictures of them, and focus on who it would be advantageous to approach. If you're looking for people who are easy to talk to, that would be Edward and Linus. I'm sure you already know Edward better than I do.
You're right. He really is easy to talk to. He'll speak to anyone regardless of social status. Chatting with him is driving me a little insane, though. I love how she's annoyed by the golden retriever.
What did he do?
Oh, John's all mad. Oh, John is green because he's jealous. I love it. I hesitated, unsure whether or not to tell him what happened in the library. I chose against it in the end. I was unsure if I could explain it well enough. He caught me in his embrace. He's just so genuine that it makes me feel awkward. He's full of good intentions. I love her. I really do. She might be one of my favorites. Like, listen, there's other heroines that you're like, okay, you know, for what they are and the game that you're in, like, even, okay, so, like, Liliana in Pio Fiore, right? Everybody was like, everybody, oh god, she's such a goody two. What she is, she's a goody two. She's naive, she's very innocent and whatever. She's a church girl, so of course she is. So you kind of expect that. So like her being that basic wallflower bitch is kind of okay because you're like, well, I mean, it's how she was raised. Like I'm expecting that, but it's when you are like, we're tough as nails and we're a fighter, and then, oh my god, the boy looked at me and I don't know what, and then she becomes a bashful mess. It's like, I don't believe that. Yes, eventually when she starts to kind of have feelings, she might become a bashful mess, sure. But like right now, the way she's acting is fucking perfect. I'm here for this stone cold, I'm gonna stab these motherfuckers. Like, I'm gonna kiss them and then I'm gonna be mad that I didn't stab them. I'm here for that. I'm here for this kind of energy. She's a breath of fresh air. Like, this is nice. She's fun. You know? She's a little bit of an angry robot. I'm not even sure she's angry. She's just a robot. And I'm like, good. This is, I don't know. It's just, it's nice. You know? Like, and then, God, talking to him's annoying. And again, falling into his arms and being like, ugh. You know, those vibes as opposed to blushing right away. Like, perfect. You were doing her justice for how you want us to perceive her character. They're actually writing it properly. Not, we want you to perceive her character as like a fighter and she's a warrior, but she always needs the men to save her and she's awkward and blushy. And you're like, no, this isn't flying. You know? I mean, yes, when you're doing games where like, I'm good at fighting, but my boyfriends are there. Yeah, they're gonna need to jump in and save you sometimes to like whatever. Sure, but at least, hey, she's pulling her weight. She's doing stuff. Every once in a while they come in and save her. Sure, but like when looking at you, Hakuoki, with your useless fucking main character. God, she was the worst. You fell off a cliff again. You fell down a hill again. Girl can't even walk straight without falling. How many motherfucking hills did Chizuru fall off of? 500 of them. And then I was trained in sword fighting, but never fucking once tried to defend herself. Hated that so much. Hated her so much. Also, they drew her so creepy with the giant eyes, and it was just, no. I just drew her wrong. But it's that. Like, don't be useless if you're supposedly, and the game's gonna tell me she was trained in fighting. Then actually have her fight. Like, she might not be perfect at it, and she's gonna lose, and the boys have to come save her. Great! Sure, but at least try. You know? Try. Because, like, I'm sorry, I don't know how to sword fight, but I'm pretty sure if someone was coming to attack me and all I would try. I'm gonna fail. Fail hard. But I'm gonna fucking try, not and then fall down a hill. You know? I'm gonna try and then fall down the hill. That's all I'm saying. So that's all I'm asking. So if you're gonna try to tell me our main character is here for revenge and is angry and all this shit, I expect you to put out with that, and they are. And that's all I'm saying. Bravo. 12 out of 10. So, anyway, I love this. He's so full of good intentions. And that description fits him perfectly. You're right, but he has secrets of his own, you know. Goneril, who knew all of our goals, gave us a meaningful look. That meant she wasn't positive he hadn't been involved in the incident 8 years ago. Yeah, but, I mean, how old is he? Because he would have been... Like, we were a child, he probably wouldn't have been much older. You know what I mean? I don't know how old she's supposed to be, but let's say she's 18. So she was 10 at the time. You really think Edward was involved when he might have been like 12 or 13? Because he's not that much older than us. You know, Albert being 30, I'm basing it on what Otome Kitten said in her thing, like, is, okay, could have been involved because he would have been in his 20s. You know what I mean? What, 22? Like, so, you know, that I could kind of understand, but and nobody else, unless everybody else is 30 as well, what were they doing? You know? I mean, I guess if they're like mid-20s, then they would have been like teenagers, and I suppose they could have been involved and forced into it by their family. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I would hold, in this case, if my family was murdered and, you know, you were like, okay, Edmund forced his 16-year-old son to go off and murder, like if I'd be holding a teenager responsible. But then again, I'm also not in her position where I'm dead set on vengeance, where I'm thinking irrationally. You know what I mean? I'm also a grown-ass adult thinking rationally, like, yes, there are horrible 16-year-olds who would absolutely go kick puppies and think it's fun, and fuck them. And then there's ones that are like being forced to do it by their shitty families. Can you really hold them responsible for, you know what I mean? Like, it depends on the situation. But you know what I mean? Like, so we don't know what's going on. She's just like, he was involved. He could have been 10 at the time, girl. We don't know. You know what I mean? We don't know how old everybody is, so anyway, I don't know if I believe that all of our boyfriends would have been involved, but maybe their families? Yes, sure, absolutely. Go on. I also find it interesting if our boyfriends were involved and we fall in love with them. Huh.
Okay. Anyway, Linus is bright and friendly. Even I only have good things to say about him.
But the wards are the Queen's hounds. Even if he is easy to talk to, approaching him is still dangerous. The fact that he is the Queen's hound and he is babyface, they are taking this shit. This is like, they asked Yana Toboso if they could copy her Black Butler homework, and she said, okay, but make it look your own. And they were just like, okay, sorta. Like, they were like, she made a deal with someone and she's got a mark on her hand instead of, Sebastian having the mark and then CL having it in his eye. She's got the mark on her hand for making it with the faking. Okay, sorta, kinda. Don't get me wrong, that's the first thing I thought of when she had the mark on her hand and she was like, she made a deal with someone, and I was like, I'm getting Black Butler vibes from this. But now, and then you stole Jun Fukuyama and threw him in here. As a redhead, no less! Huh. Okay. True, Grell's a bit of a flirty whore, isn't he? Valid. But also, this whole, like, the Queen's hounds, and he's like the most baby-faced, adorable little, like, labradoodle. Like, actually, okay, to be fair, Edward is the labradoodle. But he's like the little chihuahua, okay? He's adorable baby-faced, and like, think about Black Butler CL's like the Queen's hound, and he's like 13. And you're like, he will, though. He has a demon butler, so fair enough. But, like, he's supposed to kick my ass. He, like, a twig, you know? And that's, like, the vibe Linus gives off. So, like, he's adorable. What's he gonna do? Probably stab you really hard. But anyway. The Queen's hounds, otherwise the hounds. House Ward hunts down those who bear hostility toward the Queen, placing great emphasis on anti-royalists. The people gave them this nickname in jest, likening them to their ancestor. And I mean, again, he's little, so like by that they mean like yippy little like ankle biter dogs.
I agree, but he could be a useful ally exactly because he is close to the Queen, as long as you know how to handle him. If we're talking about approachable people who are close to the Queen, there's also Ascot, the flirty whore, so of course he's approachable. Is there an issue regarding him? Goneril hesitated, looked at me, and then let out an awkward laugh. He's famous, chivalrous, and known as a real ladies' man. Most rumors I've heard about him are related to love affairs, scandals involving young women or baronesses, that sort of thing.
I love it.
He may be too much for you to handle.
That's all right. I can deal with him, no problem. I felt like I was being treated like a child, but saying that only made me sound more childish in the end. Goneril grinned, then patted my shoulder as if to comfort me.
Don't push yourself too hard. And the next two people are the ones I'd recommend. Alfred and Lucas.
And those are two of the routes we can go down in the beginning. And Linus, I think. But
both may seem difficult to approach at first, but Alfred is a square. You can get close to him as long as you show him sincerity.
All you need to do is pretend to be sincere. That sounds easy enough.
John nodded as Goneril continued. He's not stupid or incompetent, though. He's neither heir nor an acting head, but his house's current head.
He's neither an heir nor an acting head, but his house's current head. Okay, that makes more sense if I read it properly.
That title's not merely for show. If you try to approach him, make sure he never finds out that you have hostile intentions. What about Lucas? He hates people, so it's extremely hard to get close to him. But once you do, he's all yours. And needless to say, people like him are weak once they open their hearts to you. I see. I'll make sure I watch him closely when I run into him at the mansion. Lastly, it'd be best if you stayed away from Edmund. He's very cautious and loyal to the Queen. If you want information on Bernstein, Edward should be more than enough. And besides, Edward's the one I want to get in bed with. I mean, what? That's a good point. Well, that's all the information I have for you at the moment, and I've already received your payment. While I look into the rest, I have a job for John Boy. Tomorrow I'll have you deliver something to Eden, and then work at a restaurant on George Street afterward. Return as quickly as possible. Eden, the slum quarters spanning across eastern Rowan, known as the financial destination for those with nowhere to go. Its residents are the poverty-stricken underclass. Many are weak mingles or abandoned orphans, and they call it Eden. The sarcasm is strong. Why do I have to work as a waiter when I was supposed to be helping an informant? Because that's where the information is. Duh. Are you really in a position to complain? Oh, fine. I just have to show up right. I feel bad for putting such a burden on you, John. That said, you two seem to have grown pretty close. He might have been complaining, but I could sense the relaxed atmosphere between the two. John looked like he wanted to say something, but Goneril let out a hearty laugh. It's funny, we're like, you two have grown close, and he's like, I'm only in love with you. Oh my, we look close, do we? To tell you the truth, my regulars asked if he's my husband. I know they're joking, but no thanks. I wonder if she was like, you guys are getting close, like, I wonder if they're like a thing. And he's like, never. Only Spacey. He's the childhood friend. And you know the childhood friend is always, if you're dating the childhood friend, first of all, actually, it doesn't even matter if the childhood friend is a love interest or not. If the childhood friend exists in a route and isn't a female character, they are in love with you, obsessed with you, and never want to touch anyone other than you. You, jealous of everyone, it's you, only you. So, fair enough, I'm gonna go with he's probably the exact trope. I don't want to marry you either. Anyway, that's enough about us. Are you relieved? What do you mean by that? I asked, having lost track of the conversation. Goneril sighed at John for some reason. Yeah, okay, so we have and we're clueless. We're always clueless that our childhood friend is obsessed with us and madly in love with us. I feel bad that we're gonna fall in love with everybody but him. So sorry, John Boy. You better stop jumping to conclusions and taking pity on people for no reasons. John frowned, then he turned to me and spoke in his usual tone. She's like, oh, she doesn't know you love her. He's like, shut the fuck up. Anyway. Oh, you don't need to worry about me, milady. Focus on your own safety. You're the one who's the most at risk here. I know. Thank you for your concern, John. John wasn't just an ally in my plans for revenge. He was also a childhood friend of mine and my brother's. I guess he'd never be able to face my brother if something were to happen to me. Oh, see, you're adorable. You're like, he wouldn't be able to face my brother. No, he's desperately in love with you. But sure. I appreciated his feelings and responded with honesty, like usual. Saying this before parting ways had become a habit. I left the shop satisfied with the information I had learned, despite not quite understanding the last bit of our conversation. Again, I like that we're look, the main character is always clueless about people being in love with her, but it's always like, what? I don't get it, huh? What do you mean this guy is like, it's kind of almost sometimes like, are you stupid? You know what I mean? Sometimes it's played up. Sometimes it's like, yeah, no, she's just not paying attention. And sometimes it's like, is she stupid? She might be stupid. To be fair, I usually would be stupid about it as well. So sometimes they're just oblivious. You know, I guess most of the time they're just oblivious. Fair enough. But I like the fact that with her, she's oblivious, but it's not because like, what? Like just a little derpy, like me. It's more because she's so focused on revenge that they're talking about this and she's like, what? Like she has
does not compute. She's, again, slightly robotic. I love it. One day, about a month after I had arrived at House Bernstein, I found myself busy with that morning's work. I'll take the guests to the drawing room. You go prepare the tea. Understood. My opportunity to meet the houses outside of Bernstein had finally come. I was like, when it said a month later, I'm like, it must be time. Alfred and Linus would be visiting the mansion for a preparatory meeting before the Five Houses conference starting today. That sounds like a carriage. Either Alfred or Linus must be here already. Oh, buddy, I know, you got so many pin feathers in the back of your neck. Oh, my poor baby. I parted ways with Evelyn and headed to the kitchen. Then someone called me from the top of the stairs. Hey, Space, lend me a hand. I looked up to find Philip coming downstairs with a stack of documents taller than he was. Mr. Nicholas told me to carry this to the drawing room, but this is too much for me. No! Sorry, I clicked too fast. Before Philip can make it to the first floor, the stack teetered and plummeted to the bottom of the stairs. As papers landed on my head, I realized that someone else was in our midst. Oh! Our first boyfriend, and this I'm pretty sure is the CG of him that's like in the thing and like the oh, my guide is frozen. But it's Alfred. Hi. Oh, look at him. He's so stoic and angry. I love it. You know, I'm pretty sure this is the yeah. But now again, we have context cuz oh, look at him. He looks mad, but he's so sexy. Seeing him for the first time, I thought he looked grumpy. Though I suppose being cheerful in this situation would have been strange. Despite the comical circumstances, the man in front of me seemed to be in a bad mood. It was like he never smiled before. I love it. You know I like the grumpy ones. Put glasses on him and it's perfect. And what is this? My apologies. It appears the documents I was supposed to collect fell from the second floor. I realized too late that the person who'd spoken didn't live in the Bernstein mansion. Alfred and Linus were supposed to arrive today. Is he... I recalled Goneril's information. The stern face didn't exactly make him look amiable. He was the perfect example of someone who looked difficult to approach. Lord Alfred Cresswell? That's me. I'm sorry for barging in. Though I've been here many times, this is the first time I've been greeted in such a manner. Confetti cannon? My deepest apologies. I shall take you to... No need. I thought he was angry from the sharp way he cut me off. However... Well, let's get this sorted first. I'll help. Oh, what a sweetheart. Look, the stern ones are... Oh my god! What? Why is he decorated like a show pony? Their costumes are ridiculous. They get more ridiculous with their badges and their flair, but he looks like a show horse with all his ribbons and shit. Okay, also a fact that I didn't... Oh my god. His coat is so purple, and then the undercoat is so fucking yellow. I love it so much. I'm laughing because everything is ridiculous. I love his top hat. I love a man in a top hat. Listen, I love top hats, okay? I have plenty of my own. But, and absolutely, I look this ridiculous when I go out on regular basis. This, you know, the costumes in Radiant Tale were a little over the top, but that's because we were in a circus. And that's exactly what is happening here. All of the outfits in this are like we just fucking rolled out of a goddamn circus. But like, I mean, I guess we're in a fairy circus? I don't know, but I'm here for it. I love these so much. They are just like, but every single time it's like where, it's not even the colors and the coat upon a coat. Like, I mean, that's your cape over your coat. Sure, fine. Who needs a cape and a coat? But far be it for me. Listen, layering, I'm here for it, right? It's the pins and the brooches and that fucking rosette that's literally like a horse ribbon. Like you just won Best in Show. What the fuck? It's all the flair that they put on them that just starts to just go hard. each character that shows up gets a little more ridiculous. And I can't. I love it so much. Right now, this might be my most favorite game ever just because the costumes are so goddamn ridiculous. I love them so much. They're so over the top in such a pleasant and fun, like, way. Oh, the ribbons and the oh God, it's so amazing. All right, well, here's our beautiful show pony. I love it. He didn't smile or anything, but he didn't seem upset either. Rather, he took the initiative to lend us a hand. I love it. And I never want to put, like, okay, so I mean, you can see what they look like, but honestly, I didn't, like, peg colors. And, like, even on that first CG, right? I guess you could kind of see a little bit of yellow, but, like, that's not really what you notice. You notice the purple. And, like, most of the things, like, I mean, I guess you can kind of see John's coat a little bit. You see a little bit of the green. You see a little bit, actually, I don't think we've seen a CG of John. Like, the CGs that you see... Okay, with John, the one that she has in the guide in the very beginning when she's about to talk to him, it looks like a screen cap. It might be a CG. But it's not just him. It's him in a prose, right, in what looks like the library. But his coat doesn't look as bright green. But it's like, okay, just glance at him quickly. You don't notice how motherfucking ridiculous some of the costumes and things are until you actually see them. And, like, I just... You know, you got to get the full, like, so the CG doesn't give you enough. You know what I mean? You see a little bit of the CG and you're like, okay. It's when you see the full sprite that it just, the whole picture is put together in this glorious absurdity. God, I love it so much. Oh, I love it. Oh my God. Anyway, his serious nature was made evident in the way he carefully collected the scattered documents. I cannot wait to see the rest of them. I was surprised that Alfred and Edward didn't look down on the servants and even help them out. Nonetheless, it lined up with Goneril's information. Thank you very much. Being sincere will certainly work on someone like him. He shouldn't harbor any ill will toward a serious maid. I thanked him and quickly gathered the papers off the floor. Philip came down after collecting the documents that had fallen on the stairs. I apologize, Lord Al. I messed up. I can tell. Be more careful next time. I'm surprised his color isn't yellow or purple, but it's gray. Okay. I guess it's because he's the serious one. Understood. I'll take care of the rest, so she can take you to... Oh, well, that's because Philip's gold, I guess. Don't worry. I know where the drawing room is. By the way... Look at the way he stands. I love, like, the sprite stances and the way they move. Like, and they all just have, like, different poses and stuff. He's so serious. God, I love a man with a resting bitch face. Alfred paused and turned to me. What's your name? My name? It's Space. Well then, Space. If you happen to see Linus, tell him to come to the drawing room. Oh, God, look at the hand. Oh, look at the way you're holding your hand. Look at, and then your hand on your fucking hip. Look at you. We're so sassy and beautiful. Of course. We had to know that Alfred was going to be one of my favorites because he just has the resting bitch face. And we know that I like the serious robotic ones who turn into motherfucking marshmallows. If you put glasses on them, 10 times better. Listen, are you going to be my favorite? Maybe. Probably not, though, because Ascot will always be my favorite just because of Jun Fukian. Let's be real. Okay, he's going to be in SS tier just because of Jun Fukian. That's it. But Alfred's probably going to be up there, too, because you're the exact character that I like. You don't have glasses, but it's okay. I like the grumpy little ones. Oh, God, I love the little angry robot, the angsty ones, the serious ones. God, I love ones like you. You're just so... You're going to turn into such a marshmallow. Oh, I love it. Man. And again, it's a 10 out of 10. You're a 25 out of 10 when you put glasses on these ones, though. Looking at you, Van Helsing. Following his business-like remark, Alfred quickly walked off. Philip sighed heavily once the figure disappeared from sight. What a relief. Things could have gotten bad if his lordship had seen the documents scattered all over. Lord Alfred seems kind. Oh, you think so too? Lord Al might be strict, but he doesn't boss us around or say anything outrageous. Instead, he lends a hand like it's no big deal. Lord Ed admires him for that.
When Edward's name was brought up, I realized this was a good chance to gather information. I cautiously asked a question. You said Lord Edward admires Lord Alfred. Does that mean the two are good friends?
They're too far apart in age to be called good friends. Lord Ed sees Lord Al as an ideal head of the house and is following his example. I don't think Lord Al dislikes Lord Ed. He comes here often, after all.
You mentioned that before. As Philip gave me additional information, I drew a relationship chart in my head.
Oh, right. I guess Lord Ed is closer to Lord Lynn. They're close in age and are childhood friends. Oops. I should get back to work. If I happen to find Lord Lynn, I'll call him.
Thank you. I gathered one piece of information after another. Now I take my time choosing what card I should play to achieve my goal. After I finished my tasks indoors, I set about cleaning the garden. I figured I should clean outside while I had the time since Alfred, one of our guests, was already holding a meeting in the mansion. Is something over by that shade tree? It's gonna be Linus. Well, I keep saying Lynn, but it would be Line. Lord Line? I would say Lynn as opposed to Line. Lord Line? You know what I mean? When you say L-I-N, it'd be more like Lynn than Line, but maybe they call him Lord Line. But Lord Line just seems... Anyway. It's probably him because I think the first CG we see of him is sleeping in the grass. I approached what seemed to be a large object lying by the tree. As soon as I realized it was actually a person, the back of my hand started throbbing. Interesting that we didn't do that when we met Alfred.
Hey, I like... Huh? What? What did you say? Oh, okay. I pegged 100%. 100%. What did I say? I mentioned this in the other part, right? Because one of the things that Otome Kitten said about Linus, right, is next house of head ward, blah, blah, blah. And then he still can't seem to let go of his first love, and romance plays a passive role in his life. And I was like, he is the little baby face, adorable one. And I was like, that right there is another turnoff. You're obsessed with your, like, first love? But, again, we didn't read that because, again, like I said, I had to redo the first part. But I mentioned it in one of the other parts that we did, probably the first part that actually went up. It was like, oh, yeah. But then I was like, what if we're his first love? Yes, we are. That was it. That was probably, okay, we got the little flash in our hand. And we're getting a memory. And it was somebody saying, what? I can't hear you. I like you. That was probably us as children. We don't remember that we ever knew him. Okay. Because I think it was like, I was like, okay, she said, oh, Edward seems familiar, but whatever. And it was like, what? Maybe she knew him when they were kids. You're not going to remember shit that happened when you were 6. And then when you're like 10, your whole family gets obliterated and murdered. You got more important things on your mind than everybody you met when you were like 5 or 6. You know what I mean? But if her family was part of the 5 houses, she's probably met some of these people before because, like, they've all been around. Alfred would have been older, so maybe she never met him, but like Linus and Edward could have been close to our age, and if they're close enough in age to themselves, then we could be Linus's first love, okay? And he can't let go of her, who is us, and then I was like, I'll be okay with it. But I feel like that little scene right there, her little flash, that was 100% exactly what it is. She was remembering him saying that he likes us, but she can't place that memory because it's vague and weird, right? I held my trembling head and tried to steady my breath. For a moment I was overwhelmed by the same sensation I'd experienced when I first arrived at the mansion. Why is my face-side hand acting up now of all times? I haven't touched anything, and what even was that? Because I was wondering, like, it didn't act up when you met Alfred, and then she saw that flashback, and I was like, okay, yep, all right. So I'm pretty sure my theory is 100% spot on. We'll find out when we get down to Linus's route, but would not be surprised at all. I wondered if it was something from my own memories. It had ended so quickly I barely remembered what I had seen earlier. I believe that was my hometown Eltbeek. If this person was the reason my face-sight hand activated, he might be an important individual connected to the incident 8 years ago. I peered at him cautiously. No, he's an important individual that you knew as a child and was in love with you. As kids. Because here we go. Like, Here's our first CG of Linus, sleeping in the grass, just being adorable. He does have beautiful eyelashes. Look at how thick they fucking made those. Contrary to my expectations, I found him sleeping peacefully. Felt a little silly for being so wary. The young man was curled up peacefully as he basked in the sun, showing no signs of waking. He looked so simple and innocent, like some sort of defenseless animal soaking up the sun. Kind of reminded me of a dog. Like a hound, but okay, he reminds me of a dog. I mean, I still think Edward's more the Labradoodle, but, doesn't mean we can't have tiny baby Chihuahua. I blurted it out without thinking, but it fit him perfectly. Cats basked in the sun more often, but a dog felt better suited somehow. I muttered this to myself, realizing this wasn't what I wanted to recall, when the boy suddenly opened his eyes. Who are you? Oh, now we get a second version of the CG, okay. Before I knew it, his hand had captured mine. I hadn't been careless. He was surprisingly agile for someone who'd just woken up. I couldn't have avoided him. My name is Space. What is it? You're holding my hand. Huh? Whoa! Like, he's adorable. And look at his little purple and orange outfit. Okay, his outfit's adorable. It's not as really ridiculous as some of the other ones, but I love it. I'm here for it. Sorry, I smelled something nostalgic and my hand just moved on its own. Smelled something nostalgic. Us, our perfume or something. I'm sorry. Okay, all right. Sold. Is this our first time meeting? I believe so. He let go of me surprisingly quickly, and I adjusted my posture. See? Okay, we are his first love. We know each other when we were really little, but he doesn't really remember. And obviously we look different. We have dark hair now. We used to have blonde hair, whatever. And you know what I mean? That's exactly what it is. 100%. Okay. I was relieved that there was some distance between us now, but he leaned in close once again, staring directly at me. His searching eyes looked friendly, and yet they had the sharpness of a wild animal to them, perceptive and alert. And I'm trying to get his voice. Okay, this is the voice I wanted to give him a little more. That's it. Okay. I was like, I gotta get his voice down because it's not the one that I had, the ones that I've been giving him so far. Are you sure we haven't met before? Oh, you look pale. Are you feeling well? Should I call for someone? There's no need for that. I'm all right. More importantly, I felt like he could see through my dark desire if he were to keep staring at me like that, so I decided to talk instead. Are you Lord Linus, perhaps? Yep, you sure know me well. I simply assumed since Lord Alfred's already arrived. Lord Alfred asked me to pass a message on to you if I happened to see you, Lord Linus. He wanted you to come to the drawing room. Huh? Linus looked perplexed. It seemed like he had completely forgotten about the meeting and then had fallen asleep. He looked embarrassed, but not frustrated. No, I didn't realize it was that time already. All right, I'll get going. Linus's smile looked unnatural for some reason. I doubted he'd go right away, as he'd claimed. Regardless, my job here's done. Restless, I cleaned the place up a little and decided to leave. Other side? Oh. And this scent. This is interesting. So this is giving you insight into him. And so when you get into he's obsessed with his first love, you're going to find out you're his first love. I don't know. I mean, that's just a little thing about it, just a little synopsis about him that we'd find out probably in his route. But I feel like I've smelled it somewhere before. Interesting. So it was just that little thing. I mean, we kind of already knew. But it's just interesting they added that. So Alfred and Linus have been visiting the Bernstein mansion for several days now. Today, servants from other households came to the mansion for a meeting prior to the Five Houses conference. However, those attending the meeting were senior staff like Nicholas. Being nothing more than a maid, I continued cleaning like usual. I finished cleaning the dining room. The Great Hall's currently in use, so I'll go straighten up the hallway next. Someone yelled outside the window as I made my way to the hallway, considering my next plan of action. What a disgrace to the family! I cannot believe a mingo like you stepped foot in another household's mansion! What's going on? Normally I would have walked right past them. What I'd heard got on my nerves a little, though, so I looked out the window.
The first thing that caught my eye was Charlotte, who looked as if she were trying to shrink away, her head down. Standing in front of her were people I'd never seen before. Their backs were to the window, but judging by their uniforms, they were most likely maids from other households. Okay, so it was ladies. Okay. Once again, they threw nasty comments at Charlotte, but she's... Okay, interesting, because she was like, oh, she's a... Not dire fae. What the fuck are the... half fae? Whatever. The, demi fae. That's what it is. Dire fae. A demi fae or whatever, but she's worried about being weak, but mingles are even weaker. Right? So, but she has magic. But so, I'm curious, is she just faking it, or do they think that she's just a mingle, but she actually has magic, and they just don't know? Or is she lying about it? You know what I mean? Because it seems like the information we got in the prior part with her and Evelyn was that she has magic, but she's just worried it's not strong enough. And and Evelyn's like, oh, no, you're fine. Like, what the hell? You're a demi-fae. Like, you're not a mingle or whatever. And then, like, but Charlotte, and now everyone, this must be Charlotte's family or whatever, calling her a mingle. Interesting. Once again, they threw nasty comments at Charlotte. How did you become acquainted with the head of the house when you're not even a demi-fae? Based on their words and actions, it sounded like they probably envied Charlotte. Why is Charlotte letting them say such cruel things to her? Why isn't she fighting back? Not everyone is angry and wants to stab people. Me judging her when I'm like, no, her and me both are angry and want to stab people, but not everyone's like us. Charlotte stood there silently. She looked like she'd given up, not even attempting to refute their words. Oh, get angry, go out and tell them off? And then Charlotte will be your bestie. This irritated me. She reminded me of my past self. I never had the desire to take revenge before. I'd only wanted to die. Should I interfere and help her? I may be able to gain Charlotte's trust if I make a move. It was calculating, but Evelyn and Charlotte still kept their distance from me after all. After some thought, I decided to make a move or refrain. I feel like we should make a move. You know? Make a move, yeah. That's true. Right now we're in the common route, but we're trying to get Alfred, but okay. I should win her over. Oh, we got a bluebell. I'm not sure. We have a love catch system, and I'm assuming that's what it is, but it's a bluebell. I don't know. I mean, I guess that means we got points for someone. Not necessarily tells you who. I opened the window gently. Charlotte looked up and our eyes met. Unless it's because it's a bluebell. It's Edward. Is Edward blue? Because Alfred's gray, so maybe the bluebell changes color depending. A gray bluebell would look very sickly, poor thing. Did I read this? Anyway, I opened the window gently. Charlotte looked up and our eyes met. I said nothing, nor gave her a signal, and hastily lifted the bucket I'd been holding. The thing was filled with dirty water. It was the bucket I used when wringing out my dust cloth. I dumped the dirty water on the maids' heads without hesitation as their backs were to the window. I thought we were going to go out there and be like, fuck off, and instead we just dumped dirt water on them. Beautiful. What in the world are you doing? They glared at me, soaked and trembling with rage. I replied nonchalantly, my apologies. My hand slipped. Ugh! What on earth? How could a respectable family like House Bernstein hire both a mingle and someone so rude? Just you wait! I'll tell his lordship! After losing their tempers at my stoic expression, they threw that parting shot and quickly left. A short time later, I went outside to fill the bucket with fresh water. Charlotte still stood in the exact same place. She came over as soon as she saw me. Thank you for saving me earlier. I merely opened the window because it was so noisy outside. I didn't do anything that deserves a thank you. Still, thank you anyway. Hearing her express her gratitude not once but twice convinced me that I'd gained her trust. Now that I had accomplished my goal, I wanted to get back to cleaning the mansion. But first, I asked Charlotte a question. Are you a mingle? No. I'm a demi-fae. More or less. Her eyes widened at my question, and she answered unsurely. In that case, you should have more confidence. I don't think you deserve to be oppressed, even if you are a mingle. If you're gonna live in this country, I don't think it's a good idea to keep being mistaken for a mingle. I know. You have a point. Charlotte nodded bashfully. It looked like she had something on her mind. I wasn't trying to encourage her or anything. It just felt like the thing to say. It had been a while since I'd been motivated by anything other than revenge. Still, I'd only acted on a whim. It was only later that my impulsiveness bore fruit. When I entered the kitchen to help with meal prep, Evelyn and Charlotte's eyes lit up. Charlotte told me what happened. I thought you were nothing more than a stick in the mud, but you're better than I thought. Evelyn! Don't say that about her. She was really cool earlier. Plus, she encouraged me. Right. They're talking about what happened in the garden earlier. It didn't really matter whether or not they talked to me, but the walls they'd built seemed to have started coming down thanks to that. Are you not going to start cooking? So you're still going to be like this, even though this one praised you a ton. Oh well, after hearing her story, I guess you only talk that way to hide how shy you are. It's not like I really mind or anything. Evelyn jumped to her own conclusions and then quickly got back to work. And hey, that's fine. If she thinks we're shy, then she won't be like, oh, you're just a bitch. It'll be like, oh, she's just a little shy and awkward. They helped Charlotte at first, but the girl was so efficient in the kitchen that I found myself twiddling my thumbs. I can't just do nothing. What should I do? Help with seasoning, help with plating. Maybe plating. We were told we suck at cooking, I was told. No, fuck, what the hell? I didn't click that. Help with plating. Damn, I was right. Since the dishes had already been prepared, I decided to help plate everything. Charlotte, I finished plating the food. Is there anything else I can help with? Thank you. Oh my goodness. What? Wait, what are these? What's all the ruckus? Whoa. Charlotte, Evelyn, and even Philip, who had only come to find out what all the fuss was about, froze when they saw my plating. Is it because it's exceptional and gorgeous, or because it's like a train wreck? Does it look bad? I thought I had failed yet again. Oh, no, okay. They're works of art! I know! The roast beef is neatly arranged and the mashed potatoes are sophisticatedly added to the plate. Even the sauce was added in a beautiful pattern. It's almost a shame to eat it. These dishes look divine. I had no idea you were so good at plating food. I thought cleaning was your only forte. Also stabbing. I don't know, I'm just throwing that out there. I realized that plating food was just one more skill that John had drilled into me and would prove very useful. After the commotion had settled down, Evelyn burst out laughing. I never know what to expect with you. You've always had a poker face, but you're really something else. I think so too. I didn't understand why they were laughing, but I supposed I'd managed to make them open their hearts to me. I do like the fact that she's not like good. She's like really like they're laughing and they're having fun. I do not understand. She is such a fucking robot. I love it. After I'd finished cleaning the mansion, I headed into the city. I'd become more familiar with the servants after the incident in the kitchen. Now they had entrusted me with grocery shopping. I need to try to get along with them. It'll be easier for me to head outside that way. The sun was high in the sky. Many people in freshly washed shirts and dresses walked down the street under the bright sun. Carriages bobbed past. Rowan truly was a city brimming with life. However, I never could get used to everyone acting like those strange lines underfoot were normal, no matter how many times I saw them. And it's funny because they mention that, and it's like, I see like the flowers off to the side and whatever, but they don't. Are we not supposed to see them? Okay, see? Okay, so those, yeah, what looks like a flower, those are the rainbow lines or whatever. It looks like somebody drew in chalk, you know what I mean? Oh, they're wings. That makes sense. Dumb fairies. The wing veins running underfoot are said to carry the Queen's power, protecting Rowan. Is that true, though? Wing veins, referring to the wing lines stretching across the streets of Rowan. To the citizens, these lines are nothing but an ordinary part of their lives. Okay, I get it. Yeah, they do look, okay. They look kind of like flowers, but I get, yeah, wings.
In reality, keeping public order was entrusted to the Five Houses enforcers. I barely ever heard about the lines protecting the city. Even if they're for protection, I don't want to touch them. They belong to my enemy. Recent incidents mean people go out less at night. It's dangerous after all. And over there, I glanced to the side. Down a dark alley. A long dark alley lay mere steps away from the main avenue, representing light and darkness in both the city and country. There's an incontrovertible disparity in social class in this country. Only a small percentage of people can live in the light. Still, I didn't believe the light was superior. Darkness could drown out the light after all. And the light can drown out the darkness. I mean, we're kind of at time now, so like, I guess we'll stop at the bookstore that we're at. I am having a lot of fun with this one right now. I mean, it's always fun to start a new game because you're like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going on? You know what I mean? But definitely sparking my like, ooh, like really excitableness. Like, I don't know. So I will see you guys next time. It's just the shadow of the nail buddy. I will see you next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.